Jennifer, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well. I hope you are. Thank you for taking my call.
Hey, thank you so much for calling in. How can I help?
So, most of my life I've had some mental health issues, and about 5 years ago I went and sought help and got on some medication, and it seems to be working pretty well. But my question is, ever since I was younger, I've kind of gotten the impression from my parents that they don't necessarily believe in medications, that it's more of a mindset. And I'm trying to figure out a way to open those communications with them and let them know what's going on with me. And on the flip side, I have a 15-year-old daughter that I would like to open those lines of communications up with as well.
Ooh, that's awesome. That's some good stuff here. Okay, so number one, why do you feel like you need to tell your parents what's going on?
Well, honestly, I think my mom might have some issues that she could talk to somebody, benefit from talking to somebody about. But truthfully, I am a single mom, and my mom and dad are my emergency contacts.
Okay.
And if something was to go wrong, they need medical issues and things like that, I don't want them to ever be surprised if something comes up.
Do you think something's going to come up?
No, but at the same time, it's just one of those things that I would like for us to have the open communication. So then, I don't know, I guess I want my parents' approvals on things like this.
Ding, 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 ding. So here's the deal.
Yeah.
There's a fantasy with that one that you're going to have to let go.
Okay.
And the sooner you can put that one down and let it just flutter off like a butterfly, my guess is that will be one of the first steps towards you having healing in your heart and mind.
Okay.
You're not going to get their approval on this one, is my guess.
Gotcha.
If they are, and I know folks like this, they've got good hearts. I don't think they're evil. They just think mental health is a crock. They think that anybody taking them galldarn pills is just a knucklehead or weak or a wimp or whatever.
Right.
And you're just not going to change their mind. They're going to get defensive. You're going to get defensive. You're going to feel hurt. You're not going to get the approval that you were seeking, and it's going to be 3 steps back for your own wellness. And so the biggest gift you can give yourself is to take them out of your box. And what I mean by that is you should have a box of people, 3 or 4 of them at the most, maybe 5 if you're crazy, and they're the ones who get to speak into your life.
And I do have that. I do have friends that, I do share that with and things like that. I guess I also want to be able to open it up with my daughter. And if my daughter brings it up to my parents, because they have a pretty open relationship as well.
Sure. So that's a whole other conversation. I 1,000% think you should sit down with your daughter and be honest and open.
Okay.
I think that's a wonderful gift that a mother can pass along to her daughter. This idea, especially a single mom, here's some of the challenges I've gone through. Here's some of the things I'm doing to take care of myself, to put my oxygen mask on first, how to take care of myself so that I'm whole, so I can take care of you and love you the way you deserve to be loved. But more importantly, to model it. You can tell her everything you want, but after you all have a series of conversations, you teach her about what's going on in your heart and head, then she's going to watch you closely. And she's going to learn from you what a strong, brilliant, powerful, awesome woman does when she's struggling.
Right.
And they don't go to war with people who it's just going to be futile, right? They don't try to convince people that don't want to be convinced. They don't invite themselves into conversations that they know is going to end painfully. And so, I would let your mom and dad go. Don't cancel relationships with them. Like that I was just talking about on the call before that.
Outside of that, we have a great relationship. They're great parents and everything like that. I've just always gotten the impression that they don't think the way I do on this topic.
Sure. And so I think a key for you is to make peace with it in your heart. And then if it comes up naturally, because I'm getting from your call, you don't feel super sold on it. And when we don't feel super sold, we feel like we go tell other people in our lives and we rally them around to our way of seeing things, and it helps us feel better about what we're doing. And so if you're finding peace and you're finding wellness and you're working with a counselor or a physician towards taking care of yourself, then go with that. trust the professionals there, and go with it. And then if it comes up naturally in conversation, you can be like, oh yeah, Mom, I've been in counseling for a while. I went through a divorce.
You just kind of nailed it on the head with the whole getting peace with myself about it. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, you're carrying some of their baggage with you.
Right.
So can I ask you something? I tend to think anxiety, depression, those are just signals. They're alarm systems.
Right.
That tell me one of three things. I'm disconnected. My relationships are busted. I am not safe. Something in my ecosystem is telling me I'm not safe, and it may be childhood traumas that are rearing their heads, or I'm out of control. I'm in a situation where I can't control anything, and I don't feel like it's going to end well. Why are your alarms going off?
Probably the latter, the out of control and needing to get more control.
When did you start spinning out?
Honestly, I remember being really young and thinking about reaching out to psychiatrists and things like that back when I was a teenager.
Did you grow up in a chaotic situation?
No. My parents were great. Everything was great. Maybe I kind of felt that I was luckier than most people, but with things like that. But no, nothing that I can recall at all.
That's fantastic. And so you find yourself a single mom working through it. I think you are, you're being brave. You've got to trust your counselor. You've got to trust your doctor. And then you've got to have an open dialogue with your daughter. Have an open dialogue with your daughter. Be a great teacher. Be a mom, not a friend. You're her mom. But be a great teacher. Be a great modeler. And then just love your parents for who they are. They're going to have their thoughts on things. If they invite you into a conversation, be honest, of course. If they say, hey, what is all this about this counseling stuff we hear about on the internet every once in a while? You can say, Mom, I've been in counseling for a while and it's extraordinary. Or if they say, what do you think about this medication? I think it's nonsense. You can say, anxiety medication helps turn the alarms down a little bit. It helps turn the alarms down a little bit so that I can actually do the hard work of getting well. I'm not going to be on them forever, but they really do help turn that sharpness down just so I can actually hear a counselor. I can start hearing relationships. I can start trusting myself again. I can connect fully with my daughter because I don't have both hands over my ears trying to protect myself from these alarms. Man, you're talking about legacy change there. You're talking about really changing the way your daughter grows up, Jennifer, the way she sees her mom, the way she sees herself, the way she's going to see her daughters. That's a brave, brave move. Vulnerability requires courage and bravery, and it's the right thing to do. Good for you, Jennifer. Good for you. You're a good mom. Love your parents for where they are, and be about changing your daughter's tomorrow. Invest in her. Teach her about you, and you're going to change her hearts and mind. Good for you.